Hello. Hi. We're here. We're playing the game. We're playing Call of Cthulhu, Things Run the Night, Season 2, with pretty much a new cast, minus one very interesting Drew Lowe. Um, for those of you guys who don't know, this is Call of Cthulhu RPG. We will be playing on Mondays from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. We did have a bit of a technology snafu, so we are starting a little bit late, but we will get everything on rolling. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the characters, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's episode of Things Run the Night. So I'll go ahead and throw it over to Dakota.
I am Dakota Graves. I am a private investigator in New York City trying to figure out some weird, strange cult things at the moment. I don't know what I'm going to be doing soon. We'll find out.
Yeah, dang straight you will. Next up, we have Derlin.
Yep. So my character's name is Derlin Svalin. I am a spy. I was originally from New York City. That's where my sister lives. I was doing missions out of DC, but I've come back to New York City to visit family.
Mm. And last but not least, Mr. Martin Avery.
I am a legendary, no, just a regular taxi driver, older, close to 50, 47 years old, likes to drink, which is going to be, I'm not a happy guy right now, prohibition. So a lot of my money is spent quickly trying to find that next drink and trying to time. Uh, just a simple taxi driver living for the next day.
Hey, there we go. Um, so you guys, sorry. Finding my notes, cause notes are impossible to find. All right. So you guys all um receive a unmarked letter at your address. Um, very well put together, and the calligraphy on this letter is very, very nice. Almost professional. But it just has your address on it and your first and last name on the outside. It has a wax seal on the inside as well of a looks like a fig tree branch. Um, but you guys are definitely able to open it up. On the inside, there is a Dr. Carlton who's requesting your presence downtown and asks you guys to come alone. Do not bring any police presence, but he does have a not necessarily a job, but is in search of a item that believes you guys would be able to come across based off a set of skills that you guys, or he's heard that you guys have. So you guys are more than welcome to either say screw this letter or show up at said address. And it is relatively, um, about 4 days out from when you guys receive the letter. So you guys do have plenty of time to prepare anything that you guys may need to prepare for.
Have I ever heard of this Dr. Carlton?
Sorry, I'm still looking at skills here. Um, what skills do you have?
I've got law, libraries, occult, um, spot hidden. I don't think that really helps.
I don't think spot hidden. No, I don't think so. You can roll occult though.
Okay.
I'll allow that one.
Let's see. 29.
29, and I'm assuming that is a success for you.
Yeah, I've got a 45. So
Sick. You have heard, it's not very detailed in your knowledge, but it's more in passing. You do know he is a collector of occult items. Whether they are real or not, he doesn't really check into, but definitely a collector of sorts, and just pays rather well for the artwork that he pays for or collects.
okay.
Does the letter mention any financial gain for us, or what's in it for us if we show up?
It does not mention it, but you probably would assume that it'd be discussed at the meeting. Any other questions you guys may have? Or do you guys have anything you guys want to go ahead and prepare for in regards to receiving said letter?
I think I'm prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good. I
Okay.
got my gun. I got my brass knuckles.
I will walk in with a disguise just in case this goes south and he can't follow me afterwards.
Okay, go ahead and roll disguise for me.
And what do I roll? Which dice?
That's gonna be that D100. So this gonna be the 2 that
Gotcha.
we're rolling, and then it's just tell me if you succeed, hard succeed, or extreme.
24, and my disguise is 40.
Okay.
So succeed.
Perfect. So you do succeed in putting on a pretty good disguise. But the three of you, what is everyone's dexterity?
75.
Oh,
60.
35.
nice. So the first one to arrive is going to be Dakota. Dakota, you walk up, and it is looks like a large museum of some sort. Even though it does have like the address that is listed there, it does look like a rather large, almost museum-like building in size. It does have a knocker on the front door, but it also does have the same symbol that was encoded in the wax seal on the front door.
This must be the place.
You go ahead and rap on the door, and as you do, a few moments go by, not too incredibly long, but a butler walks down, very well dressed, opens the door, and you are...
Dakota Graves, Private Eye.
Ah,
I
yes.
was requested.
Mr. Graves, please come in. And as you walk in, you begin to see multiple cases up on, like, almost on display, as they have different artifacts inside. There's, a couple of different knives and older guns, but most of them seem to have little nameplates underneath them as well. But you do see there is a spiral staircase in the middle that looks like heads up to a second floor. The butler will go, Mr. Graves, if you don't mind just waiting around here, the rest of the party should be here shortly, and I can go ahead and escort everyone to the second floor for your meeting.
All right, sounds good.
Perfect. A few minutes go by, and Derlin, you see the same scene as you do see this large building at the address.
I'll go ahead and knock on the door.
Again, you do see a butler, definitely probably mid-50s, if not a little bit towards the top end. White hair, but a full set of hair. As he and you are.
Billy Smith, professional arm wrestler.
Billy Smith. Billy Smith. Um, please come in. This must be an addition to the group that we were expecting. If you wouldn't mind waiting here, the rest of the party will um, be here shortly. There is Mr. Graves over there. He'll like sort of just wave in your general direction. Um, if you want to go ahead and make small talk, he is a PI, so you guys may have some interesting stories to say the least. But please, it shouldn't be much too longer before the last few individuals arrive.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Derlin, you have a rather decent amount of wealth, and this still goes above and beyond anything you are used to. But again, you do see random artifacts look like to be encased with small nameplates on the front of them. With a similar scene I was set up earlier with a staircase in the middle, spiraling upwards to a second floor. Last but not least, Martin Avery. You and another individual begin to walk up as it looks like Walter Riley called a cab and requesting you to take him to this address, which, funnily enough, was on your way anyway to said address. But the two of you walk up to the door.
Gonna knock on that door.
As you knock, again, the butler comes to the front door and escorts you two inside. He did say that there were 4 of you. What is your fine fellow's names?
Yeah, Martin Avery, taxi driver, just looking to make a buck.
Perfect. Well, a buck will be easily made on this if the good doctor says so. Please, everyone, please follow me upstairs. He begins to raise his voice. Martin, you see, this is an extremely nice museum, maybe? Floors are made of some extremely nice stone, but the walls are very decorative as well. Mostly have some marble work on the definitely on the floor. As you sort of get a closer look as you guys begin to ascend the stairs. As you guys make it to the second floor, you see a gentleman sitting in a nice high back leather chair with behind a desk. In this area, you do see there is 2 walls completely covered in books. But you do see on the wall behind him is a giant portrait of himself, holding up what looks to be a lion's. Looks like he hunted a lion back in some time. But definitely a lot about himself. You can definitely tell his way he's dressing and everything. He is quite loaded. He looks around. Please, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves, and he sort of just snaps twice as the butler begins to descend down the stairs.
Who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
Does it matter? Anyone could take the floor.
I'm Billy Smith. The letter was addressed to somebody who I didn't know, but I decided to come anyway. Got a mean right arm, professional arm wrestler, here to make some money.
And do you look like if I look at him, does he look how good does he?
I mean, he's pretty jacked up. Really, the guy who's the older gentleman in your group and him. What is both your guys' strength, Martin and Derlin?
65.
Martin, what's your strength?
Oh, 35.
35. The guy is Martin is definitely a large individual, but definitely a little bit lanky in nature. But he looks pretty well cut. Definitely makes sense for him to be a professional arm wrestler.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting choice. But as you're here, we'll see if Mr. Derlin comes around after all.
Question: is the staircase behind us? Is the butler there, or is he gone out of the picture where we have a clear route back to the front door?
So the front door is actually down a set of the spiral stairs. So, but there's the whole. As you guys ascend the stairs, it's sort of almost like in the middle of the room. The staircase is, so it ascends up into the floor. It's not like a door leading into this area. But the butler has descended back down the stairs after the gentleman across from you did snap his fingers. What about the rest of you? I have a rough understanding, but I haven't put faces to the names.
I'm just waiting. I'm watching the others. I already know who Smith is.
I'm Martin Avery, taxi driver, giving up my shift for this right now. So, don't waste my time. Here to make some money. So let's get going on this.
This is a man after my own heart, here to do business and make some cash on the side. Walter will go ahead and announce himself that he is one of the reporters, and he's interested to see what the job is, and hopefully get an inside scoop on anything on the story if anything comes of it. The only thing that leaves left is Dakota.
Yeah. Well, you know who I am then, by process of elimination.
Yes. They said that you are very good at what you do, and finding individuals and things, well, hopefully aren't too different. One definitely won't just walk away out of view, am I right?
You could say that.
Right. So, yes. So what I'm here for is we're looking for what I'm hoping to be a easily got item. It is in downtown New York, so not too far away from here, but underground there is an old I think it's an old speakeasy. It was a bar that was turned into more of a motel that got busted for having a speakeasy down below, and well, last I knew it was uninhabited. But there was a gentleman, an Eric Zahn, who was able to, or was supposed to be providing me with a small pamphlet that I would be extremely interested in receiving. He has gone silent as of, well, I guess it'll be about a month at this date. But looking to see if you can hopefully find him or the pamphlet. Hopefully him, so I can get some compensation back for the wait and, well, inability to pay forward for the cost of said item.
What kind of pamphlet would go to the trouble of hiring 4 strangers?
Well, as I don't know if many of you guys are aware, but I collect items, as you guys saw downstairs, and this one would just nicely add to my collection of certain artifacts throughout the ages.
Is the pamphlet the artifact, or does it lead to the artifact?
This is the artifact itself. Comes from a unknown named town in South or village in South Africa, believed to have mystical powers. If you believe in that nonsense.
You hired us to find a piece of paper that's supposed to. Have you
Be
heard
magical.
about?
All right,
I mean,
I don't care about the pamphlet. I know that part of town. I worked there before. It's dangerous, so I get why you have four of us going. I have the car. I could drive us. The question is, why am I going to risk my life to get this pamphlet? What are you going to pay us with?
down to the nitty gritty. This guy, it's well, I mean, beyond reputation and honestly a vehicle for some people. I don't know you guys that well, but I am looking to be paying you guys a very handsome reward of $80 a person for this endeavor.
Sounds fair to me.
Now, I do want to let you know that it is a dangerous part of town, but the last I knew that this motel slash old bar before the prohibition started years ago was ran by Russian mafia. So I'm not exactly sure who's lurking around, who's where, but last I knew, he was residing at that motel before it was shut down, probably about 3 weeks ago.
Well, lucky for you, my father was Russian.
Another good content to have you around.
I've never heard of a Russian Smith before.
Yes, that is quite weird.
It's my stage name for arm wrestling.
Yes, a professional arm wrestler. Yes.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on him.
As you continue in conversation. I mean, I do have the address here, and he does just a small clap, but within this room, it sort of echoes off the walls, and shortly after, you do see the butler begin to reascend the stairs. Yes, what can I do for you? Please, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and grab my briefcase from down below, and we'll be almost done, wrapped up with our business. He's like, yes, I'll be right back. He begins to descend. A few moments again go by, and he does reascend with a briefcase. He goes ahead and opens it up, and puts out a stack of bills off to the side, and we'll go ahead and pull out a couple of photographs. As he pulls out a couple of photographs, you'll see it just a small. It looks like a normal pamphlet, just a 3-sided fold up pamphlet. And this is what it looks like, and on the inside, or on the pamphlet itself, it definitely looks less of paper, but more probably leather of some kind as a pamphlet. But it does have a star on it. It looks like it has some emblem on it. Excuse me, not necessarily a star, but it does look like a star if it had double the amount of points. So it's like a 10-sided star. But that is on the front end of it, and you do see some sort of drawing of you can't tell exactly what it looks like, but it looks like a maw of something from what the picture is. Again, it's not completely open, but it looks like it's partially folded. You see like a maw on the middle page. On the front, you do see the 10-sided star, and it looks like to be made of some sort of darkened leather.
Can I, if I use my magnifying glass, can I get like a better look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll a. Let's go with spot hidden, I guess, because isn't spot hidden perception in this game?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll spot hidden.
18. So that's a at least more than half. So
All right, so you got a hard success. You do see in this picture, you start to more focus on the mall of whatever is showing on the picture, and the picture is relatively, I want to say new, but it's definitely has probably within the last couple of months. The picture itself is taken, but as you get a closer look at the mall, it looks like it's either a dark brown or a black, but you see just the lower jaw, but the when it opens its mouth fully, you can sort of see that it's fully extended, but the maw it probably fit a human head inside of it, but it does have a longer snout, and it has almost what it looks like snake eyes, but it's covered in fur. Definitely not something you've seen before. Not even a little bit.
it's quite a drawing there.
Yes, that's what I have some people that I know that in my smaller circles that may know what this beast is and what this pamphlet was used for back in the day, or if it even has any properties to begin with. But yes, it's a interesting piece of work, to say the least. But yes, $80 a piece in this piece of parchment would be returned back to me. No, as quickly as possible would be great, but I'm not forcing any sort of deadline. I was going to, as a sign of good faith, go ahead and put a portion up front for you guys, so that way if you guys needed any extra expenditures for any reason, he goes ahead and slides a $20 bill towards everyone. Again, I'm hoping this becomes a beautiful friendship between us, and hopefully we can get some more business going in the future if you guys are interested in doing so.
I just have a few questions, if you
Of
don't
course.
mind.
No, not at all.
Who else knows about this pamphlet?
Um, there's maybe 10 in a certain occult circle that I find myself in, a historian's club, if you will, that I've been discussing the pamphlet with. Not exactly what it's made of or what it exactly may be known for, but they know I've been asking around. The seller, obviously, but beyond that, I'm not entirely sure who all has knowledge of this. Again, this artifact isn't even from this side of the world, so I mean, there could be tons of people who know about it on other continents or other collectors such as myself.
So we have competition.
Not that I'm aware of. As far as it wasn't an auction or anything like that for this. I sent him to go see if it was at a ruins in Africa that I found reading, and sure enough, it was there. And he was able to collect it and supposed to bring it back for payment, but he's gone missing.
I'm betting you got some blokes that would like to take that from underneath your nose.
I'm hoping not, as we're all finer individuals. I hope they'd understand the the collection part of it, but it may not be entirely possible. I have not heard anything though of anyone having interest in said, and they definitely don't know where the individual was staying last. They just know that I should have received it already.
I don't know. Greed's a mighty driver.
So what's stopping these guys from once we get it to you, us getting jumped or ambush happening? And I can take a couple guys, but I don't know if I can take out 10 plus by myself.
Well, I guess nothing. We can discuss a secondary place to meet if you guys would like. Um, if you guys don't feel comfortable bringing it back here, we can meet somewhere else.
I don't know, boys. What you think?
I think we'll have to work it out as we go, probably, but it doesn't hurt to have a backup plan.
Whatever makes you guys feel safer.
Places in town that we could go to if we need to, but I mean, we got this $20. I know the place. I can get us there. The only thing that frustrates me is he said he knows us from our skill set. I'm not happy about an occult talking about me and my skill set, but hey, what it. So I've been in a fight or two. We got this guy, arm wrestler. I'm thinking this.
Do you have a picture or a description of this missing person? Well?
Yes. He shuffles around inside of his briefcase, and is a picture of the gentleman holding the piece of paper, almost as proof that he did find it. But he is a Caucasian individual, probably about late 20s, early 30s in age. Brown hair, green eyes, but rather decent sized build, not as big as Mr. Smith is, but probably closer to in between you and Mr. Smith, somewhere in size. But probably looking at, I don't know, 190 and maybe like 5'11".
Can I hold on to this?
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. Make sure you get the right guy. You PI and do your PI work.
It's my job.
Yes, quite literally. Any other questions I can help you with, Mr. Graves?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Is there a way to contact you if we need to?
I am after about 5 p.m. I'm you can find me up here in my study, but other than that, I will mostly be busy running the show downstairs, opening for business. But I'll either be here or up here or downstairs. But other than that, it's probably the easiest way to find me. I do like to go out from time to time, but otherwise, my butler will be able to let me know if you're looking for me. If I'm not here, you are more than welcome to leave him a message, and I'll be able to hopefully respond quickly.
I look to the others. Got any questions?
Point me where to throw the punch. You got the brains.
Let's get this money.
You see the gentleman across from you sort of rub his hands all excitedly. And this sounds like a wonderful adventure, and I hope you the best of luck.
Does he seem nervous at all, or?
No, he seems actually quite excited to more than likely get his product that he paid for back.
The 2 bookshelves, what kind of books are on them?
Go ahead and roll a spot hidden So you can go ahead and roll a d20. Also, as a reminder, as you guys are rolling, if you guys do get successes on any of the skill checks, make sure that you are putting a little check mark in the box next to the skill, as that is if you get a success after the end of the adventure, you will get to a chance to increase said skill. So make sure you guys are putting a little check marks if you do get a success.
14.
Ooh, 14. That is just a regular success, or is that a hard success for you?
50 is my skill, so
Ooh, that's a hard success.
hard. Yep.
Nice. As you as they're going on in conversation and he's asking questions back and forth, you're taking a gander at the different books that he lines the walls of his study with. A lot of it seems like almost random fictional books, but you do see there is a huge section that is an encyclopedia. Looking further, you do see there is like books that have different papers sticking out of it, almost like they took notes and just shoved it into the book. But while the rest of the study looks rather clean and organized, the books almost look like frantic, like they're just like a bunch of notes just tossed into books, closed and put back on the shelf. Not like they were closed and make sure everything was flush and even, but it looks very disorganized compared to the rest of the room. So it is beginning to get towards dinner time, so I must excuse myself so I can go and have dinner. But if you guys do have any questions or concerns, please make sure to come back here, and I'd be more than happy to discuss anything with you.
Shall we, gentlemen?
Let's mosey.
The butler will then begin to descend down and escort you guys out of the building, as you guys hear a loud "koof" behind as the door locks.
Say
Mr.
we hop in
Avery?
this taxi.
Yeah.
I know how to get there. We going today, boys? I'm ready to go. I got a baseball bat, tire iron. I know exactly where the place is. I even know a back route to get there. Get us there quicker and more discreet.
That's always
Perfect.
good.
Okay, just to let you guys know, it is roughly about 5 p.m. It is the middle of April in 1922, so it's not too crazy bad or anything like that. It's a little breezy, but not too bad. Martin Avery, go ahead and roll your driving skill for me. Hopefully you can roll as well as you say you can drive.
7.
7. Extreme success even. Yeah, make sure you put a fat check mark next to that as you guys go ahead. Bobbing and weaving out of traffic. It is backed up as it is rush hour. But he is bobbing and weaving his little taxi through very almost seamlessly as he just diving in and out. Definitely driver extraordinaire. But as he gets close, as you guys get closer and closer, he does take a couple of back alleys to cut through some of the more congested area. As you guys are probably less than a block away from the address. It is on the outskirts of like the downtown area. You're getting more towards the suburbs as you guys do hit this motel. But it is, as you can, like I said, you're roughly about a half a block away. I'm not sure if you want to go ahead and park, just drive all the way to the motel, check it out, or if you guys want to park off and then walk to the motel.
I say we park here and be discreet, but I'll follow your guys' lead on this one.
You know the area, fella. So we'll stop where you want to stop, and we'll go where you say to go.
I say we stop here, and I do have my lockbox in the car. If you guys want to put your $20 bills in here, I'll bring mine with me, but I'll leave that up to you. And I have baseball bat is mine, but the tire iron, you guys can go at it.
Pray for the fella that wants to take this 20 from me. So I'll just keep it on me.
Understood. I'd do the same.
Um, you definitely Walter will go ahead and put his 20 and drop that inside of the lockbox as you go ahead and slide it back into its hidden area. But yeah, you guys are roughly, like I said, about a block away. But you're able to find a parking spot off the beaten road, in an alleyway. Does that, you've seen taxis sort of parked in alleys waiting for someone to wave them down or anything, or they're in between shifts. So you go ahead and park it over and then begin to head that way. As you guys make your way there, we're looking at roughly about 5:15. But you guys are outside of the motel. There are no lights on in the motel, and most of the windows are closed by blinds. Not a single car in the parking lot.
Does it look run down at all, or does it just look like just a building, but everything's turned off?
It doesn't look like run down or anything. You can definitely, at least from the sidewalk view, it just looks like a normal building, but everything's just off.
You said it was a motel?
That's correct. Single floor.
So we're at the door of the guy we're supposed to be meeting?
As of right now, you guys are just on like what I would assume to be the sidewalk, but you could absolutely go to the room number that was provided. If you guys
Is there
would like.
anybody like standing outside that looks suspicious?
No, the parking lot is completely empty. No one outside. It's
Just us.
just you guys outside of this motel.
All right,
So-
Smith, you want to go over there?
I'm thinking walk up to the door and put my ear up to the door and do a listen check to see if I can hear anybody inside.
Sure. Go ahead and roll up to it. Are you trying to do it stealthily as well, I'm assuming?
Do you want me to roll stealth and listen?
Yeah, if you're just not trying to walk up stealthily to the door, yeah, I definitely need a stealth and a listen.
Okay, so I'll roll for stealth first. Go.
I'm gonna check around the backside.
Okay. Are you also trying to be stealthy in this?
I mean, does
Or
it
just sort of walking
feel
around?
like I need to be stealthy? I feel like
I mean,
there's
it's
no one
5:15
here.
in the afternoon. No one's here. You don't have to be.
Like, is there anybody on the road? Like,
I mean, there's cars that are passing by the motel. It's not like off the beaten path or anything like that. But I mean, there's people that are passing by it in cars. But
I'm not gonna worry about stealth for me right now. I'm just gonna. I got a gun. I don't care.
true.
So for my stealth, I rolled a 45. I've got 50.
Okay.
So that succeeded, and then listen. It's out of 40. 15.
Ooh, hard success. So make sure you go ahead and put those check marks there.
Oh, yep.
As you go ahead and walk around the back side, go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me, Dakota. And then Martin Avery, what are you doing as Dakota runs around the back side of the motel, and you see Mr. Smith sort of make sure he's not necessarily like crouched down stealth walking, but try to walk as if purpose and not trying to be suspicious in any. So you get up to the door, just put an ear to it.
I got a 53.
Okay.
By the way, which is a success.
Mr. Smith can take care of himself, so I'm gonna go around back with Dakota, just to provide a little backup.
Okay. All right. So, as you both begin to go around the backside, you do see that the trash cans are completely empty. So, which is a little weird. You would expect if a motel had tenants, there'd be at least some sort of trash, but all the trash cans have been emptied out. There are windows that are lining the back wall that you guys can, if you kind of find an open one, you can look in through. Um, but you guys, other than that, there's nothing really interesting about the back entrance. There is a back door that's sort of lined up with the office for them to go like check into the rooms and stuff like that.
If I count the windows, can I tell which one would be the one that we're supposed to go to?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence for me. Derlin, you listen up to the door.
39, which is just a regular success.
Perfect. Derlin, you go listen up to the door, and you hear just the faintest sound of what seems like a radio that's in between stations. It just seems like mostly a soft static, but you can hear every once in a while a music change. Like it grabs the station, and then it goes back to static.
So it's somebody changing the station?
No, it's more of just. It looks like the nozzle is just sort of stuck on one plane, but it's in between two stations. But it's like it's close enough to like grab it for a little bit and then it lets go again. Not necessarily someone's changing it, but it's sort of just stuck on static. But it's close enough to a active radio like station.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the lock.
Okay, go ahead and roll that sweet locksmith. Would you go ahead and count the windows as you guys go around the back side? There is a small sliver where the shades are not shut all the way. You can definitely go ahead and roll a spot hidden if you would like to look through the window. And only one of you would be able to, unfortunately.
Do we have to like lift one up?
No. It's not that far off the ground.
I kind of look at the taller guy and see like, you want to look in the window?
Yeah, I can take a look in there. This will be easy to take a peek. But I do have a question for you, Dakota. We find this guy. Great. Here's the pamphlet. Let's go make our money. What are we gonna do if he doesn't want to give up the pamphlet? $80 is nice, but I'm not escalating the violence if we don't have to. What's our game plan? How far are we willing to go?
I mean, we could try to reason with him. Not for just turn into violence right away, Like, people have their vices, so we just figure out what he likes. And
try to pay him off, I guess, if that cuts into our money. But
we don't have to pay him off. We just, we can cut a deal.
All right. We'll figure it out when we get there. Let's go to the window and see what we see.
That's right. So go ahead, and Mr. Avery, go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me.
44, barely a success.
Hey, all right. So you look inside. Inside, you do see the door beginning to open up slowly. Derlin, you are able to go ahead and get that lock picked, but the door is now unlocked. As you can eat. Yeah.
I rolled an 8 out of 35, so a hard success.
Nice. Definitely able to quite easily, one fluid motion, just sort of pick the lock and get that taken care of. Do you want to go ahead and open the door to proceed?
Yes.
All right. You, like I said, you do see Mr. Smith opening the door and beginning to see him more fully as the door opens. But you do see as well, Martin, that there is another room. You can't tell what's in the room, but there's another room to the left, and what looks like you can see the foot of a bed inside. Otherwise, it's just like a straight hallway that goes into the front door area. It just looks like a rather small motel room. But it looks rather well kept from what you can see from the window.
What's up there? What we got?
I guess I'll scan the room and then stealth and notice the next room and try to stealth and kind of be quiet and see if I can find the guy in the next room.
All right. And I believe Dakota was mentioning to Avery what he was seeing up there.
Yeah, I was trying to ask Avery.
See the door open, see a nice looking room, but mostly just emptiness in here.
All right.
When you step inside, something that can't be seen from the vantage view of the window is, Derlin, you see that the bed is actually like covered in blood for the most part. Absolute massacre. Blood splatters on the wall. But go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me.
28 out of 42.
All right, with a success. You do see from the closest side to you, on that side of the bed, is a what looks a completely mangled body off to the side. But you do see someone just rocking back and forth on the opposite side of the bed, which is like next to the wall where the door is. So you would be able to see it from your entrance, but through the hallway that Martin is looking into, you wouldn't be able to see this individual rocking back and forth.
I can't see the individual.
You can, but
They can't.
Right, looking through the window is unable to see it.
So can I silently like wave them in?
Yep. You now awkward make eye contact. You look over, you guys see each other, and you see Derlin just sort of
Give them the okay sign, and then I wave them in.
All right. So you see Martin begin to plop down and head around the building. Do you go ahead and follow?
I
Dakota?
guess we're just gonna like walk away.
He's like, all right, way out.
All right.
And he's waving us in. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He looks intense.
As the three of you come across the scene, I need all three of you guys to make the first sanity check of the new season.
If it's for dead bodies, I don't have to roll it. But
It is for a dead body, so you do not have to roll. You're fancy.
So what do you roll a 100?
Yep, and you're trying to hit underneath your current sanity.
I've seen these before, but nothing this bad.
What'd you get?
7.
Oh, you are not affected by this in the slightest.
I got a 15.
Okay, both of you guys keep your mind as you guys see this mangled up body. And I mean, you've seen bodies, Dakota, but this one looks like almost like a wild animal just tore into this torso of this person. But you guys now see the other individual on the other side of the bed, just sort of rocking back and forth, just covered in blood.
Hey, are you okay?
As you guys now have made noise for like the first time after entering, he just looks up to you, and you guys can now tell it is the individual who is supposed to have the pamphlet. And it just he's muttering to himself in a language that I don't believe any of you understand, because I know Derlin has another language, but I don't think does anyone else have a secondary language. Okay. So yeah, no one understands what this individual is saying, but just is rocking back and forth, eyes wide, as he seems to be muttering to himself, covered in blood.
Hey, man, what's the problem?
The voices of The voices.
What voices?
The voices. They're and he begins to like almost jet his eyes like across the room as he's trying to almost feel like he's figure out where he's like hearing the different voices at.
So
Right.
can I roll a persuasion to get his attention, and then roll a psychology on him?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Oh, the fuck did I drop that? Okay.
While he's doing that, I want to look over the body.
Yeah, go ahead and roll um medicine if you have it, first aid if you have it, or you're just trying to like physically look over,
I'm not really like trying to. I'm just trying to like, you know,
get a good look at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
more like almost autopsy, but not really cut open. I'm not really
Right. Go ahead
not
and
really
roll
that kind of person. So
sure. Go ahead and roll as a spot hidden then.
I got a
Unless-
28 out of 40 on persuade.
Okay. You sort of like snap your fingers at him. He just like looks back, almost like, yeah. Then he keeps his eyes, but you can definitely tell like his eyes are on you, but he is definitely interested about what's going on in the room. But you have his attention.
Hey man,
um,
I just need you to calm down for just a second. I just want to talk to you. Everything is okay. You're safe. We're here. And then I'm gonna roll psychology.
Yep.
I got an extreme success after spending 1 luck point.
Ooh, the luck point. Um, with your extreme success, you're able to look over and inside, like the chest cavity is completely open. You see the rib cages looks like it was tore into, like a couple of ribs are laying inside of his chest. But inside the cavity is completely organless.
He's got no organs, guys.
And what you roll for your psychology?
39 out of 40.
Ooh, nice. So success on the psychology as well. Um, this guy is definitely out of his mind. He doesn't seem to be faking it. But yeah, he is one stop probably too far from the loony bin.
Hey man, we're not here to hurt you. Hopefully you know that we were here contacted by a gentleman looking for a pamphlet. We're just here to collect. Anything past that, I just want you to know you're safe. We're here to help out if you need, and if you could just point us to the pamphlet, we'll be on our way, and we can call you some help.
Mm-hmm. Collect. Who?
Do you have a pamphlet on you?
Pamphlet. Who collecting for?
Forget the name of the dude.
Dr. Carlton.
As soon as you say Dr. Carlton, his eyes just go wide open. As you can see him like visibly begin to shake as he like puts his hand back to like the wall and grabs onto something firm. The doctor, he sent me to my end. He sent me to my end. He knew that this would happen. I'm sure of it. And pamphlets. And he begins to like rock a little bit more, almost just trying to like comfort himself.
Well, obviously you're not dead.
They took it. He points to like the body on the other side.
Who's they?
I don't know. They came looking for it. I tried to save it. It belongs to the doctor. But I just got hungry.
All right. This is giving me a bad feeling, guys. We parked a block away. I think you can handle this guy for a few minutes while I get the car and park it out front. I didn't see anything out there that scares me. I'm not bailing, but I think we should play it safe on this.
All
Sounds
right, go
good.
get the car. I'll check this body out somewhere.
So
Right.
can hey buddy, can you tell us what these guys look like? How many there were?
Mm, three, four. Three. As he sort of smiles, and you could definitely see when he smiles, like the inside of his mouth is just like completely like covered in blood. Um, three now. I sort of. Daryl, I guess I have a question. How close to your heritage do you look? Because you said that you knew someone that like your father was Russian, but how close?
That's a lie.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Just wanted to understand. So, eh, like him, but without the hole. And now he just got a smile as he's beginning to rock back and forth.
So the dead guy, he said they look
Yeah.
like the dead guy?
Yeah.
So should we examine the dead guy and then maybe get an idea of his descent or
Yeah, with the extreme success that you would have gotten, Dakota, just from like the color of skin and like the facial structure, definitely Russian, as some sort of descent.
Looks like the Russian mob paid him a visit.
Oh
Mm.
great.
They spoke funny. He tastes funny.
Oh boy.
All right, I say we wait for the car and leave this guy to himself.
We go.
You-
We go.
You're gonna leave a cannibal here?
Where
What
we?
do you want to do with
Where
him?
we going?
I
We
say
go.
we I pull out some handcuffs.
You want to gag him and handcuff him so we can ID the guys?
Yeah, I mean,
No. No.
know what?
I don't want to see them again. They were mean. They tried to kill me. I hear the
They-
voices.
Hey, if you play your part and ID him, bud, they won't lay a finger on you. We just need to find this pamphlet, yeah?
Pamphlet. And he like hurries over to the body, like dips his hand inside the chest cavity where like all the blood is, and he just begins to draw on the wall with his hand. As you see, he draws the 10-sided pointed star. The voices.
This guy's just fucking nuts, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't even know if we could trust him to ID.
I don't feel comfortable just leaving him here either, though. What if somebody else comes in and he eats them too?
Well, I guess we could try to use him as ID, and worst case, he's fodder for us for the Russians.
We go?
Yeah, not till you're gagged and bound, bud.
I helped.
I just kind of like look at Smith and like try to like mime quietly, like get him to put his hands out. Like,
Bud, we're friends, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna need you to put your hands out so I can wrap them up. Can you do that for me?
Roll persuasion.
35 out of... Where's my persuasion? Out of 40.
Ooh.
Now, we can either do this the easy way or the hard way, bud. Stick your hands out.
Friends. and he begins to slowly like reach his hands forward.
And then I rip some of the
I
sheet.
got handcuffs.
You have handcuffs?
Yeah,
Damn. All right.
I'm an ex-police officer. I got handcuffs. So,
He's like, I got this. Click,
and I
click.
just slap them on like
Hmm. Hmm.
it'll be okay. This will keep you from hurting us and us from hurting you. So,
You hurt me?
no,
No one's
I'm
gonna hurt you,
no
bud.
one's. This is to make sure you don't hurt us.
At this point, you guys do hear the sound of the cab pull up outside. And Derlin, he looks at you, looks you up and down, like a couple times. Looks around the room, and it like inches a little bit closer to you. Friends.
I put my arm around his shoulder and I said, "Friends to the end, buddy. Let's
Is
hop
there
in the
any
car."
like loose cloth
I mean,
that's
there's
not covered in blood?
You could go ahead and search around the You search
Why don't we
around.
just rip part of the sheets?
Yeah, but like I don't want it. I don't want to put blood in his mouth. So I mean, he's already got it in there, but
Right. No, you run into the next room, which looks like now is a bathroom. You run in there, and there's a couple of just hand towels that are in there, and you're able to go ahead and
I'm just
present
trying to look for like
towels.
a gag. So
Yeah, it's enough to definitely do so. So yeah, you walk back, and you have a hand towel, and he looks at you. mess, and he sort of like points over to the bed.
yep, we're gonna clean up a mess, and then I just kind of like gag him.
Yeah, go ahead and roll strength for me.
Oh, that's a 9, which is a critical, like an extreme success.
Ooh, there we go.
That's-
You sort of walk up behind. He's like, he's like looking around the room and notices you, and looks back to Derlin as Derlin's got his arm around him. As he's saying friend, you just go ahead and just gag him while he's in the process of saying friend.
That'll keep you from biting anybody. All right, let's get him to the cab.
And then Walter Ripley will hurry up and run out, open the back of the cab. And at this point, you're probably at capacity for your cab between the 3 in the back and you and the passenger. You'll get into the cab and begin to do what you guys want to go drive off. Do you want to look around more in the motel?
Does anybody know where the mob is, or
I do.
just kind of look at you?
I
Very-
can point you out, taxied man.
All right, tell me where to go, but take this towel, clean him up a little. Oh, so a wrong person looks in here, sees a guy handcuffed and gagged in my cab. They're gonna ask where we've been. They point him back to that hotel. There's blood everywhere. That was disgusting. I don't want to go down for murder. $80.
Why didn't we just put him in the trunk?
Wow.
What did he say that he's gagged?
He ate somebody.
He ate something. Jeez Louise.
Now you know why he's handcuffed and gagged.
Thank you for gagging him. Holy. Put him in the trunk.
Just
And
get
it
out.
he looks over to you, Derlin.
I'm sorry to do this, bud. It won't be long, I promise.
It's for your own safety.
You guys go ahead and I need 2 people to go ahead and roll strength checks to try to wrangle him to go ahead and put him in the trunk as you guys are, in the parking lot. Cars are passing by.
Ooh, I got a 55 exactly.
Who's gonna
Let's
help
see.
him?
I've got, let's see here, a 15 out of 65.
Ooh, nice. You are able to go ahead with the 2 of you rather quickly go ahead and take him out of the back seat and load him into the trunk and close it. Um,
I
you,
want to hand him a little flashlight since his hands are bound in the front.
right.
This is for you, bud. I don't want you to get scared here in the back.
He looks at it. I'm just trying to.
I turn it on for him.
It's all good.
As you guys go. um, you guys go ahead and hop in the cab. Where are you guys off to?
So I don't know if I need to roll anything, but I'll point him where he needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not too incredibly far away. Maybe like a 10-minute drive at this time of the day. But you go, and it is a club, just a jazz club. And you do see there is quite a few well-dressed individuals. Definitely you can tell from Russian descent, sort of split up and sat across the room. As you guys do see a couple of larger individuals sort of standing at different points within the jazz club, but there is currently a gentleman up front playing a saxophone.
We're already in the club. Okay.
I mean, you guys can do anything outside, but you guys have arrived. It's a more of a open floor plan, but there's like the building's made out of like just windows all the way around, so you can see through. But you guys are outside.
So are we just able to walk in?
I mean, you're more than you can absolutely just walk in. It's just it's a public restaurant. Is there anything you guys would like to do before walking in?
So, are we going in with like a backstory? Are we just going in separate? What are we doing?
Well, we know these fellers have the pamphlet, or so our new friend tells us. I do happen to speak Russian, so worst case we can try to get some information. I don't know what you guys think, but maybe we don't let them know we're there to collect the pamphlet right away. Just maybe dig for some info to see if they might have it.
I ain't much of a fast talker, but I am good in a fight if it comes to it. I'm gonna leave my bat in here, but I'll give you guys support.
Yeah, I can try to get some information out of the non-Russian speaking people, I guess.
I'll leave you to I'll leave you to read the room, and I'll do the talking.
While you guys are inside, you guys do hear loud banging coming from inside the trunk.
Oh no.
Martin, you might have to drive around the block a couple times.
Or maybe park it a little ways away again.
Son of a bitch. I know a back alley. We'll be fine there.
All right, we'll get out here so it looks like you dropped us off.
All right, I'll be back in, 30 minutes?
We'll try not to cause any trouble before you get back.
I'll be back. Good luck.
All right, so Walter will go ahead and stay with you just in case the individual you guys brought with you causes any sort of issues. But it will be Dakota and Derlin entering in. As you go ahead and enter in.
Now, how bad do we stand out? Like, I'm wearing like, I don't know, like traditional 1920s like coat hat kind of thing. So I don't.
No, that you pretty much fit in pretty well. Like everyone's wearing, at least you can definitely tell who owns the place. Like they're the Russians that are sitting there are very well dressed, but they're more or less in like a suit. They definitely have a hat that's placed off on the table to the left, but they're just sitting there, just seeming to be smoking cigars and listening to this jazz player play. But there's a couple of other The restaurant's probably at 25% capacity right now, um, but maybe 8 people are looking of Russian descent, and the others are just mished of different customers and stuff like that. So maybe there's roughly 25 people here. 8 of them
Alright.
being Russian.
Yeah, I just want to get like a general read of the room, see who would be the most likely target for us to try to talk to.
Mm.
Got psychology.
Yeah, go ahead and roll psychology.
Ooh. Rolled 97, so I'm gonna push it.
Push it.
So I don't. Ugh. Oh, I got a 47, so
Oh,
I failed by 2. That sucks.
yes. First push and a fail. I'm so excited. Um,
So I look around, but I don't see anybody, and then I start kind of like overly staring at someone, probably the wrong person.
yeah. As you look around the room, you look around and you make eye contact with this one Russian individual, and you just almost without realizing just get lost in staring at him. Um, and
I think I know him. I think I know him from somewhere.
he ends up looking over to one of the larger individuals. This guy probably realistically looks like the size of Martin, but probably a bigger fellow than Mr. Smith. As he sort of looks over and looks at you, as the gentleman begins to walk towards Derlin and Dakota.
So before he reaches Dakota, I just step in politely and start speaking Russian to him to try to explain my rude friend.
Go ahead and roll your other language skill.
16 out of 40.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Okay, I see you. You've been noticed. Back in Russian, it's just it is unacceptable, and the boss would like to speak to you.
I'll go ahead and tell him that's fine with me in Russian, and guess we'll head that way.
As you guys begin to follow this large individual, you guys arrive. He's sitting at a small table, and most of the it's rather it's not super bright in here. It's mostly like candlelight that's illuminating. Like each table has a candle, and there's a single spotlight pointing at the performer. But he does go ahead and waves like nods to the table as a couple of workers hurriedly bring over a couple of extra chairs for you guys to sit down on the other side of the table from him. What
Wait,
do
take-
I please sit.
I guess I'll sit, but only if Smith sits first.
I'll take a seat. I turn my chair around backwards.
Ooh, okay. As
Must
you
be a-
guys
Must be a Russian thing.
right.
I'm squatting in Adidas pants.
Yes, I love it. As you sit down, the individual looks you up and down, gets a half-cocked smile, and looks over to Dakota, and eyes you up and down as well. So I couldn't stop from wondering why 2 individuals walk into my restaurant and one has a staring issue.
Well, you see, uh, this is my agent, and you see, I'm a professional arm wrestler, and we heard you Russians were the toughest lot around, and so he was just kind of looking some of your boys up and down, see if they'd be worth arm wrestling me for.
Yeah, that one looked like the biggest threat, so I had to make sure that he was the fiery type.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what establishments you individuals come from, but this is not a place to do that sort of entertainment. This is a place of calm and relaxing music.
Oh, I don't do it for entertainment, bud. I do it for my own personal pleasure. And one of my favorite games to play is if I win, I get to ask you a secret, and if you win, you can have my life.
This ah he puts his napkin on the table, stands up and brushes himself off, and pulls his jacket down. This will be very interesting. Please sit as the
Um,
larger individual plops down.
I'm kind of looking at Smith like, wait, a life for a
Oh,
secret?
hold on.
Oh,
So roll strength or power.
It's gonna be strength.
Okay.
yeah, power's like mystical stuff.
Oh, okay. 51 out of 65. I might not be able to hear you.
No, sorry, I was rolling.
Oh, okay.
It was the first thing I had to roll for. Okay. You it is a very, very close competition. As you are going on, people are starting to almost look away from the artist and or performer and begin to look towards the arm wrestling that's happening. But the gentleman who's currently now standing gives him a stern look, and they instantly go back to minding their own business and watching the performance. But after a few tiring minutes, eventually you do hear the sound of as Derlin's hand was able to beat the other individuals in this arm wrestling contest.
Good, because I was going to use luck if I had to.
It seemed to have beat this individual. The boss will slap him on the back of the head and tell him to get up, as he now will go ahead and leave from the table, as understanding the bet that was arranged.
I guess you really are the world champion arm wrestler, huh?
I bet on nothing, fellas.
So, what is this? Secrets you must know.
We feel comfortable asking about the pamphlet.
Rumor has it that there's been a recent acquiring of something that may not look particularly important, but happens to be made of a strange leather, has a certain symbol on it, and I'll kind of like draw that 10-point star on like a piece of paper or something and like slide it over.
Yeah, I know about it. Some raved lunatic killed one of my people for it.
Wait, he killed them for it?
Mm-hmm.
So he has it?
No. I don't know who has it, but I
Now's a deal's a deal, fella. You got that pamphlet or not?
I do not have it. No. Oh, that'd be multiple charges: breaking, entering, threatening, and I didn't do any of that.
Look, we're not part of the police or anything. We just trying to get some information, and a deal's a deal. So you said that your men had it. This guy attacked them. So one of your men has it. Are they AWOL?
Oh no, they're very well in line. Um, but yes, we do have said thing. But that gentleman would not let go for his life. That's for sure. Kept saying something about voices and rocking back and forth like a fool. Should be in an institute, if you ask me.
So what are you planning on doing with this pamphlet?
Probably selling it to the highest bidder.
Do you know a lot of buyers?
This is a first, to say the least. At least of this sort of product. But I'm sure some will come barking when they look and see what we got.
Well, in our travels, we have my associate and I have met certain people that would be willing to negotiate for it.
Is that right? How much is this turning into a business deal then?
More or less, yeah.
Hmm.
But I can't speak for my other associates, so.
Hey,
But
scan the room and see how many Russians are in this room.
Yeah, go ahead and roll spot hidden.
A 4 out of 42.
Hot damn. As you're looking around, there is, including the individual here sitting with you guys, a total of 8 Russian individuals. But you do notice that um, the one that's sort of like standing guard on the opposite side of the room, um, is beginning to like itch at his throat, a little bit, and it's just like got a confused look on his face, but he's just itching and itching. You can now see there's like a scratch pattern on his neck.
Hey, fella, looks like that's hurting over there. You all right?
As at this point, you are speaking up across the room a little bit, and the guy that you're sitting with sort of puts his hand up in the air. Please, if you have a question, let me call my colleague over. No need to disturb everyone else's experience. This is a business after all. And he sort of waves over his colleague as his colleague begins to pull his hand away. You can see there is beginning to be just a small amount of like blood just running from the neck a little bit. From looks like he's just scratching too hard. As he walks to the table, he almost sounds like he's like taking in a little bit like deeper breath than is normal. Almost like he's like trying to catch his breath, like he just like just did a quick sprint across the building or something, and then he's coming back. Yes, boss.
does he seem like fugue state almost, or like he's conscious of what he's doing, or?
Not. It seems like almost like a tick at this point. Than not necessarily like understanding he's itching it. You can tell like it's like a tick, and then he realizes he's doing it and stops for a little bit, and then almost like subconsciously goes at it again, and then shortly again will realize he's doing it and try to keep his hands by his side. Um,
So,
the boss will look over at him and tell him like go like that, and the guy will like turn his head.
Are we noticing that this tick is something similar to the guy in our trunk?
Not necessarily. The guy in your trunk didn't like scratch or anything. He more just like just holding, more or less rocking like a fetal position.
But he was saying the same things like over and over, almost like a tick, right?
Right, right, yeah. He was definitely almost like he had a tick that he was saying, but it doesn't look like it's correlation between the two beyond just having a tick.
it's a pretty nasty rash you got there.
Yeah, it is. The boss goes, "You get that checked, like I suggested." It's like I've been meaning to, boss. I just he's like, "Go, get it checked now." The guy will give a small bow and begin to walk away. But when he walks away, he sort of bumps into like a table, almost like if his leg just gave out for a split second as he catches himself, steadies himself on the table, but continues to walk out of the room.
Where does he leave from? Like, is
He
there a back
leads.
door?
It doesn't look like a back door. He definitely looks like he's going to. It says like employees only on it, but it looks like a nicer door.
How long has he had that rash?
2 days now.
When did you get the pamphlet?
Rough about 2 days ago.
Yeah, there's a rumor going around that sometimes certain materials can carry with them strange diseases, so whoever touch it might get certain diseases.
Is that true?
So can I check the guy as he's leaving for like a spot hidden and like see if I can see him carrying the pamphlet or
Yeah, you can absolutely go ahead and roll spot hidden.
10 out of 42.
With a 10 out of 42, unfortunately, you look over, and you do not see any sort of pamphlet on this individual. When you go over, you can definitely see that there is a gun concealed like on his back belt line, but no sign of the pamphlet on him.
I still think he has it on him.
The guy will go, "Well, once you confer with your colleagues, I'd be more than happy to discuss a price for whatever disease pamphlet we have stumbled across. But until then, please feel free to enjoy the view, enjoy the show from a different table. But first round is on me."
Appreciate that.
obliged.
You guys will escort. He'll have the same individual you beat in the arm wrestle walk over and escort you guys to a secondary table. And at that point, that's where we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Seems like a good place to go ahead and cut it. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. This is the first episode of Things Run the Night Call of Cthulhu series. If you guys are new here, feel free to hit that follow button. We're going to be doing this, I believe, weekly, starting from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is going to be a very interesting experience. I know, Mike, you are a streamer of the retro style gameplay. So if you want to go ahead and do a little shout out for yourself, you can go ahead and do so.
Yeah, right on. That was a ton of fun. That was my first round in one of these. So please come back. Yeah, cheese pops. Play old games, die a lot, and it's fun. So that's all I got.
Awesome. There is his link there in the chat, so make sure you guys go check him out. If you guys are followers of his channel, make sure you go give him a follow. Mike's a real cool guy. Met him through work, and we're able to kindle this beautiful friendship. Um, but we will be here next week. Hopefully, Walter Riley will be able to join us. He texted me and did have a emergency come up that he did have to take care of just a little bit before the show. So, unfortunately, he will not be here. But this will be uploaded up on YouTube on Wednesday. And then we will be streaming some other games throughout the week. But then we do have We Run the Night on Thursdays, our Shadowrun game. We are partnered with Catalyst Game Labs, the company that does make the game itself. So we get to see some interesting stuff a little bit ahead of time. There's the new book out, Street Weird. Make sure you guys check that out as well. Other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. We are going to go ahead and go to the end or the away screen, and then we're going to go ahead and raid someone and give someone some love. So make sure you guys stick around and go say Coffee House Hype once we find that person to raid. So we will see you guys next week on Things Run the Night. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.